Everybody, and welcome to Mental Health by the Mentally Disturbed. My name is Raymond Newsom. Um, my current, my usual sidekick in this show is currently detained in other engagement. So, if anybody else would like to pop up, let me know, and I'll send you a link, and we'll start from there. Other than that, how's everybody doing tonight? Because I know I am actually doing rather fantastic. It's been a good week. It's been a crazy week, but it's been a good week. And Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope everyone had a blast New Year's Eve. I definitely did. I was at work for part of the evening, but other than that, it was a good night. I got to come home, eat some food, drink some alcohol, um, then start going through footage for a previous investigation where I was piecing it together for an episode for Spirit Mechanics. That'll be coming up later in the year. Um, for anyone who doesn't know, I am a paranormal investigator. I run Newsom Paranormal, and also I'm an investigator and a sensitive with Spirit Mechanics out Lexington, Kentucky. Um, Anytime you want to take and catch us live, watch out for Thursday nights. This past Thursday, we took the night off because of the New Year's, and that way everybody got the chance to spend time with family and stuff and just relax until we get back into the routine. Because December is usually the month where we take time off to just recuperate and relax and just enjoy our time with family and stuff. I, however, am a lunatic, and I'm like, yeah, let's keep doing shows. So here we are. Um, I know we don't really have too many people on yet, but yeah, Matt's running behind. He'll be up here in a bit. I want to get this thing shared out. That way more people get to see it. Because what's the fun if people can't come and join in on the party? Right? Right. Yeah, somebody shared me out so far. And thank you for the share, whoever you were. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's run down the list here real fast. There we go. But once again, whoever shared me out, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, Matt will be on here in a bit. He has been detained by other engagement, um, and that's perfectly fair because this, even though it's not random, it's still a random show. You know, and things happen between the time that we decide to do it and the time that we start the show. I'm the only lunatic that's going to be sitting here going, all right, I've got to get up there and get started. um, Stimulants. Anyway, um, how's everybody's New Year been so far? I know there's been some wild, wild stuff in the news of things happening, and my heart goes out to everybody that was involved with everything that's happened so far. It's not the best way to start a new year. It really isn't. But as far as I know, the drones have disappeared right now. I guess we'll find out more about that later. I, I don't know. Haven't really researched it much. I have no interest. Um, it's like, it's a drone! Shoot, what can I tell you? I have nothing else to say about it. I really don't. And we have one or two people watching. Good, Mom. I'm glad you enjoyed it so far. Um, I took Mom to Walmart earlier. For people that don't live along the stretch that's going to be coming through, there is a big snow and ice storm that's supposed to be headed this way. That's supposed to hit Sunday into Monday afternoon, evening, something like that. It can drop anywhere from like 3 to 12 inches of snow and another like up to half an inch of ice. So we were make sure that everything was stocked up for food and this and that, like everybody else. Because the grocery store was packed, and I won't lie, that's not my favorite thing. I don't do well with a lot of people in stores, but I'm doing better with it. Mainly because I just stay in my own little bubble, and everyone else in the aisles is like an obstacle course. I'm going through this like I'm going through an obstacle course. Hey, look, it's a labyrinth. Left, right, left. Made a wrong turn, turn around, go back the other way. You know. Thank you for sharing out, Renee. Mr. Barron will be up here in a bit. He's engaged in other activities right now. So anyone that wants to join me, anybody that wants to hang out for a bit until Matt can join us, I can send you a link. Just let me know in the comments. Um, because honestly, even though it's called mental health by the mentally disturbed, we really don't discuss mental health that much. We just get up here and ramble on and act like idiots for an hour and a half or whatever. Um, not messaging me back. I apologize. No, you don't drive in the snow. I know. There wasn't any snow on the road, but there's a little bit falling from the sky. So I I had no problems driving. Yeah, it's okay. Hey, do it. Heck yeah. Jacoby has a Boy Scout event. Tell the family I said hello. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you all are safe up there in the northeast. Um, I'm just playing with the weather, to be honest. I won't lie. Um, we were supposed to get a little bit more snow than what we did last night, and yeah, so this is going to be an ongoing process until after Monday. And of course, I don't talk much. I really don't know how to carry a conversation by myself to myself for the most part, and that's honestly what a podcast is. I could talk to the voices in my head, but then you all wouldn't hear the return conversation. It's just not fair. Uh, um, at least I drank the stimulants. That's a plus side. I've been a little bit tired today. I was up till after 3 going through footage and stuff, and then that's cool. Cold with a flurry in the upper part of the state. Well, it was cold with a flurry in this part of my state too, so I get it. Um, but I was definitely up till after 3 and then got up before 11 and finished what I started last night. That way I can make sure everything was done and taken care of. It was for someone else, so I took and wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. And we had everything squared away. Because honestly, it was a little past due, and I felt really bad about that. But sometimes, honestly, I just didn't have it in me. It's not an excuse, it's just the truth. I was taking classes, I was exhausted all the time from that and working. Sup, brother? Brother? You beautiful bald bastard, you. What's up, Sean? How are you doing, Sean? You having a good night, bud? Sean Ellis has an awesome show. It's the Eternal X Wolf Pack paranormal show. You can catch him on Facebook, on YouTube. It's always a fun time to hang out with him. Um, we definitely cause some ruckus whenever we're hanging out together. Of course, Renee is in the comments. She is my partner in crime when it comes to death scenes and cemeteries, and her husband Kelly is definitely a brother from another mother that I was hoping I'd get to see you all this past year. I understood what you couldn't. Hopefully next year, hopefully you can come hang out because I miss y'all. We have things to do, definitely. See if we can drag the Ottersburg back over this direction for sure as well. Oh, it's been snowing in Northwest Ohio. I'm not surprised that it's been snowing up there since then. No, you can't go on your own empty. Um, I might have to tell my body that sometimes. It's time to shut down for a while, dude. You've hit the line below the E. You're in the red there. Take a break. So I get that. I definitely had to do that. Hang in there, bro. Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. Yes. I will definitely come back on this year, sir. I don't think I've been on in a few months, and that's kind of not like me. But you had a ton of guests running through, and I had a ton of other things that I was doing as well. So we'll get there. We'll get there. No stress. It's just now the third day of the year. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Get ready for a wild one. That's all I'm going to say. Um, because there are things and there are ideas, and I plan on making quite a few of them happen. So we'll see how the year goes. Um, but everyone that's joining in, everybody that's hanging out, thank you all so much. I I really don't know what all to say because I'm just me. Anxiety. I'll start talking faster and I'll start stuttering. Okay, cool, cool. I hear people pulling into the driveway. Yeah, and fortunately, the schedules got mixed up in this and that and stuff. That one may be a little bit more difficult, Sean. I will have to get back to you on that one because Illinois is a long way away, and honestly, I don't really have any investigations lined up yet. Who knows? It may happen. I know there's a few spots that I'd like to get back to, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Um, because I do enjoy doing the investigations. I I miss it honestly. I've got that itch. I've got that desire to be in a building. It doesn't matter if it's dark, if it's during the day. If there's somebody hanging out, I'm going to get them to talk because I like talking to them and I like to hear their story. And that's usually my approach. If you've got a story to tell, I want to hear it. So let's talk. I'm not going to ask you to jump through hoops. I'm not going to ask you to do anything out of the ordinary. I just want you to talk to me. If you prefer to take and light up one of the devices to take and answer yes and no questions, cool. We'll do it like that. If you want to talk out loud, awesome. I'm down for that. If you just want to use Spirit Box, cool. I got you. So it's just one of those things where you take it really does. It stays in the blood. It's like a drug. It's like my caffeine that I just pour down my throat. Same here, Renee. Same here. But I know if I have to wait until the 16th or so to take and find out what all is in store for my year and how I had to change and adapt it, which is fine. I have no problems with changing and adapting things. It just gives me a better heads up as to what to expect for the year, which none of it ever slows me down. Anybody that has ever met me knows that I don't really slow down at all. Even when I can't even get up and move, I don't stop. You know, the brain is a powerful thing, and I just follow it wherever it goes. All right, cool. We're working on this. Let's go. Cool. We're working on this. Let's go. I will say that I have found something recently that helps with a lot of the stress and the excess anxiety. Some anxiety is normal, and I'm okay with that amount. Um, there were times that it was getting out of hand, and without a usual idea of how to take and express it, my go-to is usually frustration and anger, and that's just not fair to myself or to other people. So, thank you, Sean, for sharing that out. Um, so I had to find something, and I think I actually found it. It's working wonders so far. Sweet, let's go. Um, so I will keep using that, and I will keep you all updated. If you want to know what it is, just let me know. I'll take a message it to you. Um, I do not get paid for promotion, so I'm not going to promote it out. But if you have a question about it and stuff, I'm more than happy to answer it. It is 100%, herbal. It is 100% legal, so don't worry about that. Which I know some people aren't, but me too, dog. Me too. Bear's excited. It sounds like my daughter got here, so I doubt she's watching. But hi, Gabby. I love you. Even though she's just through the house. Um, she'll be hiding near her by the time I get done with this. I get it, dog. I get it. Does anybody have any exciting plans for the year? What things that they plan on trying to do? Plans on places they want to go? I mean that last one, I definitely have quite a few places, but like I said, I've got to wait until mid January to see how that's going to go and stuff. Exactly. as people get after the dog. Why you gotta be so loud? He's a dog. He can't help himself. I get after him too. I can't say much. Um, as I get a message from Gabby's mom, she's bringing a sword. Okay, that is not a concern. I've owned several throughout the years. I like swords. Swords are fun. Um, as long as you don't accidentally try to chop your own limbs off, it's cool. Don't use it as a toothpick either. That kind of sucks. Thanks, Sean. Wish you all better New Year too. Um, actually, my year's kicked off great. It's been awesome so far. I won't lie. Um, I've got a ton of stuff accomplished that I've been meaning to do throughout last year already. I've got a little bit more to do before classes start, but other than that, I've been rolling like nothing else. It's amazing to what I can do with a tad bit of clarity. Um, I've started writing. I've been working on the SMX episodes, which are coming along great. Then I'm passing them off to my buddy who finishes them up and stuff. I mainly just piece them together to get the narrative going. Considering I'm usually right there with everybody and stuff, I can remember just about everything that happens and everything cool that happens. So I can piece it together really well. And I'm taking like several hours of footage and bringing it down to like an hour and some change. So, and the last one turned out really well, I think. It's got a lot of humor in it, which is important to us as far as investigating goes. Because when you laugh, when you have a good time, it raises the vibration in the building, and it helps put spirits to ease as well. Because if you're just coming in asking the normal questions, how'd you die? How'd you die? How'd you die? What's your name? Uh, what'd you do here? Things like that. They get bored, especially if it's a place that's you know been visited by several investigating teams. They get tired of the same questions over and over again. So when you come in and you're entertaining and stuff, they want to talk to you, and that's an important part to taking the show for us as far as as far as investigators go and doing investigations, because you would be surprised at the responses that we typically get when we do stuff like that. I mean, last year during the global ghost hunt, one of the team members did the chicken dance, and don't worry, it's coming back. You'll see it again. Um, like there's even a scene where I'm pulling a wagon around and making train sounds because I'm an idiot. What we're going for a ride? Let's go. Um, Stretch, are you a demon? No, I'm not, but I might know if you. Is there a portal to hell here? No. Um, yes, I'm just going to laugh at my own jokes. I don't care. I don't care. But I hope everybody's having an awesome evening, an awesome night. Pretty much all aboard the choo choo train as I take and drag that wagging around in circles. But they'll be seen later on in the year, I'm sure. Um, I know I've got a couple more investigations to go through to take and make episodes up. And other things along with the episodes. I'll leave that as a surprise. That's for everybody else to find out eventually. Um, but where was I going with it? The thought train left the station too with the choo choo train. Um, I seriously forgot what I was going to say. That's a bad situation when you forget what you're going to say. So I want to change directions here. We're going to keep on rolling one way or the other because why not? I'm just rambling up here anyway. Um, it's a nervous laugh. If I laugh at myself, I don't cry. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Totally. Kind of. Maybe. Anywho. Um, so I know Renee's Boy Scout event with the family. What's everybody else doing tonight? Anything exciting? Something? Anything to, get me back on a course one direction or another? I don't care which way we go as long as we're going. Um, Point me in a direction and we'll take it off from the station. Because that'd be like me when I'm driving. Give me a direction and I go, am I acting like my mom? Uh, Maybe. I'm just trying not to take and stutter, step over top myself and get to the point to where nobody can understand me because it's bound to happen. I know here recently I started also going back through a book that I'm reading for metaphysical class that I'm taking part of. I was like, I'm taking a step back a little bit, so I'm going back through the basics of the class and stuff. And the first book that we started, and just kind of going through each chapter and seeing how things have changed for as far as my perspective, my viewpoint goes, as to what I was picking up from the text before. And that's been an interesting trip for me because some things have changed in the way I view them. I'd have to go back through my notes to really, really get an idea of how I was looking at it. But for the most part, I remember. And some things have changed because, one, I have changed, and two, my perspective of things have changed. So, it's been a fun situation, and I've enjoyed it so far. It shows me where I've grown in areas compared to where I can look and say, okay, this still needs work. Not that I haven't grown in that area, it's just, okay, this still needs work. So I know where to take and focus and keep working on things to make things more fluid and more cohesive, for lack of a better term. Because there are parts of it that talk about the the body and the spirit, and then honestly the intent. And without the intent or the body or the spirit, move, the move a movement lacks strength. So for full strength to be into any movement that you hope to make, you have to have all three. And that was a fun conclusion they can come to. Whether it's a conclusion that was expected, no, but it's a conclusion that spoke to me. And it helps me understand things a little bit more. Yeah, it's been interesting, Renee. It's been interesting. The book I'm referring to is the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. Um, if you've never read it, it's a discussion about swordplay, but it's even more so a discussion in philosophy. Because even he says in the book, don't take this at just the sake of memorizing or for the sake of reading. Really take the time to take and dive into the words and what I'm trying to say. Because he knew he was not a wordsmith, even though, what he had to say has a whole lot more deeper of a meaning throughout the book. Yep, Figure of the Five Rings. The Book of Five Rings are obviously five books within itself: earth, water, fire, air, and the void. So, each one takes a new step on each chapter, on each book. So it is a fun book to read, especially if you look at it from a philosophical stance. Philosophical stance. Apologies. Words. Not good most of the time. Um, and it's important that, I think it's important that the fact that he starts out with the Earth book, which in the book it's called the Ground Book, and it's basically talking about building from the ground up and understanding your tools and the skills that you have to use those tools. And this can apply to many things. It can apply to the way you do your job, the way you live your life, even the way that I work metaphysically. And that's kind of the point in the book, is understanding what tools you have and how to take and apply them in the correct situations. And from there, you move into the Water book, which is a lot about how you flow and the intention with which you flow. Which, mind you, this is my understanding of the book. Everybody gets their own understanding from the book, which is the whole purpose. It's like any other book on philosophy, every person is going to relate to it in a different way. And that makes it fun, because then it's a discussion. Rereading The Shack for the 100th time. Yeah, The Shack's a good one to reread. I think I've read through it. Well, I didn't read through it. I listened to the audiobook like once or twice. Um, and then, of course, I've watched the movie, which changes it a little bit, but a lot of the philosophical standpoints are actually in the movie. So that that helps at times if you don't really feel like reading the book or listening to it. A lot of the philosophical standpoints are in the movie, so but there are some that were cut out. Um, which of course I'll read books all day long. I can't help myself. That's if I'm not doing 500 other things. And sometimes it's just me taking a break and chilling. Okay, I want to take some downtime. So we're going to sit here and pretend that the only thing that's going on is nothing. And just sit there and relax. Because it's needed from time to time. I've grown to enjoy that part. It took a long time to learn how to do that. It's just to take time. And a lot of that is learning how to take and actually rest. Because you sit there and still do a million thousand different things. You know, my phone is as much of a tool as it is a phone, as a way to communicate. I create on my phone. I take and write. I take and read. I do anything and everything possible on it, other than make phone calls if I can help it, because I don't like talking on the phone. Um, my mother can attest to this. I'm like, if it's important, she'll either message me or leave me a voicemail. Um, I'm sure there are other people in the audience that can attest to that. It's just easier to message me because I'll reply faster, probably. I'm not always in a position where I can take and answer the phone, but I can send a message almost instantaneously. So yeah, so I'm like, it's just easier to take a message to me because that way I can reply. That's it. Yeah, but I don't see it as much of a distraction, Tanner. I really don't. It is a distraction. Sometimes it's easy to get distracted by it, but I use my phone for so many other things than just distraction. Like, I have Word on my phone to where I can write. I have Kindle on my phone to where I can read. I have Canva so I can create flyers. I have video editing per apps on my phone. I do so many other things on my phone than just be distracted. And sometimes I let myself just sit there and be distracted. That way I can rest. That way I don't have to worry about creating this and that until the until my brain is like, okay, you've had a break. Let's get back to it. Um, because, like Sean said, balance is key. I've even started getting to the point, other than the fact that I've been working on the footage and stuff, which sometimes takes me late into the night. I I usually try to get in bed earlier than I used to. I try to get myself in a position to where I can rest, actually go to sleep earlier than I used to. Sometimes that backfires. Sometimes I'm back up by like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But see, exactly. That's the kind of stuff that you can do. I actually have a tiny keyboard that hooks to my phone through Bluetooth that I'll pack with me whenever I go on trips and stuff. That way I can sit there and write from my phone. When I'm at home, I have a tablet, I have my laptop. My tablet's usually easier because I can pack it wherever, turn the keyboard on, I'm set, I'm ready to go. If I'm doing other things and stuff, then I'll use my laptop. That way, it's just, I have the ability to write wherever I go in any situation. I won't lie, there's been a few times that I've had to take a break at work and stuff and write down ideas. I'll just slip off and just. Okay, cool. Apparently, things are falling at me. Sorry about that. Things are falling at me. I don't. I guess I'll figure that out after the show. Um, but yeah, it's when you take and use it and look at it as a tool, then it's a tool. When you look at it as a distraction, then it's just a distraction. You know, so it's all about perspective and what you hope to accomplish. And honestly, I usually like to accomplish a lot. So having those apps and having that available to me makes it easier whenever I can't sit down at my computer or sit down at my tablet. Because even though my tablet's small and it's easier to pack than the laptop, sometimes if I'm going for weight things and stuff, the tablet is definitely, I mean, the phone is definitely easier to go to. I can just take and turn it on, make sure that my keyboard's plugged up, charged, turn it on, connect it with the Bluetooth, start writing. Okay, we're going. Let's put words down. I actually used to do that whenever I sat one on one at the hospital and stuff. Uh, yeah, that's probably going to come back and bite me sometime. But if they're asleep and I'm just sitting there, I had my phone out, I had my keyboard out, I was sitting there writing one of my books. If I got stuck on one book, I would switch to another book and start working on that one. And I've been known to have anywhere from 3 to 4 books on rotation at the same time. Just because if I got stuck on one, I could switch to another one and start writing on that one until the story comes back to me for the other one. And that way, one, all the stories are getting worked on, and two, it gives my brain that mental shift, especially depending on what kind of book it is, to take and recover from the type of story I'm writing. You know, some books are definitely harder to write compared to others. When you write about a serial killer in first person, that actually took a lot of toll on me mentally. And so having other stories to fall back on, especially like my children's book that I have, because I was working on part of it when I was writing I Am Brian. Having that to take and switch gears and going from something extremely serious and something extremely violent and just in that mindset of a complete sociopath to being able to take it and bring a kid's story to life gave my brain that break that it needed before it actually broke. And that's kind of why I like to do that. I know it sounds crazy and insane and almost impossible to do, to take and be able to switch from characters, one character set to another character set to another character set to another character set. But considering all these books, none of them are ever related, and each set of characters have their own personalities, own characteristics. Dun-dun-dun. Um, it's easier to take and switch than what you would think, especially compared to the way that I write. Um, it's relatable to the way I would read books because I would read 2 or 3 different books in the first place. And whenever I would read, it plays like a movie in my head. I see everything that happens. I hear everybody's voices. I see everybody. I see everything they do in my head. All the places, depending on this description, I can see it. It's all right there in my head, so I can see every bit of it. And whenever I decide to really start writing, I reverse engineered it. I see everything. I hear everyone, everything they say. I see everything they do. And I put that down on paper. I'm literally just the observer that's keeping records of what happens. So there's rarely ever any actual planning that goes into my books. I'm just along for the ride like everybody else. Um, and honestly, I have like 3, 4, 5 books started right now. I have one that I've been trying to focus on a little bit more. It hit a stopping point, but I switched gears and started working on the episodes instead. That way, I'm still creating, I'm still going, and it'll give me a chance to take and recover before I jump back into that story. However, I'll probably take and switch to my usual gear of going back and forth between one story to another, just because it's what I know. It makes it easier, if that makes sense. And that way, I'm making progress on other books and stories as well. That way, everything has forward momentum. Because I won't lie, I haven't really written a lot in the last few years, but that's because I found other outlets that gave me a break from being inside my head all the time. Like this one, being able to come on here and just rattle on like a lunatic, which I love to do in person, especially amongst friends, amongst people that I know. Everybody knows that if Raymond's talking, you don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth until I say it. It's never said with the intention of being hurtful or this and that. I grew up in a family where we like to give people crap. That's what I do. I expect it back, and it's nothing more than a joke. But I am usually the first person to apologize whenever it hurts somebody's feelings. Wow, I've actually made it for 48 minutes by myself. Holy crap. This is a world record, y'all. Hold on. All right. Raymond's Raymond's making progress here. Um, hooray for topics and tangents, and yeah. Um, hey, look, Kane. Cool. What's up, Kane? Yeah, he's still mad at me. But anyway, that's a whole different story. It it's funny because I switched jobs back at the beginning of last month, and even from day one, I walked into my interview and was talking about being a paranormal investigator and talking about the things that I do with spirit mechanics, and they were like, "Cool." And then I got hired, and everybody was just so excited because they had somebody that actually does paranormal investigations that works in the building, because everybody's fascinated. It's just they'd never met somebody who actually does it. So we have some fun conversations sometimes, uh, and that's just at work. It's actually a fairly chill building to work in, and I enjoy it. It definitely beats healthcare. Not that I don't love healthcare; it's just my body said no. So here we are. Um, which I did get to see one of my former coworkers while I was out earlier today. It was good to see her and wave and say hi as we passed each other. It was too cold to stop because we were outside, and nobody wants that right now. Not with the wind blowing the way it is. Because if anybody's familiar with wind chill, it sucks. And anybody that's familiar with me, I wear a hoodie year round. And usually not much else other than maybe a long sleeve shirt underneath. That's it. So I like to move fast. You know that old song, "Make My Way Downtown, Moving Fast because it's cold out." Um, I don't know if Mr. Barron's going to get to join us tonight, which is fine. I understand. I hope everything's okay with them all. I'm just happy to hang out with you all and have a blast. Oh, cool. Oh, somebody was updating me on something they had asked me about. So, which is exciting for them. I'm happy for them. Hooray, hooray. And yeah, that's honestly about all I'll say about that situation. If it was meant to be public, it'd be public, but it is not public. And I don't want to be drunk in public. I want to be drunk in my room. Anyway, if you ever drink Bailey's from a shoe, um, I'm so glad this show is 18 plus because I don't want children watching this. I really don't. Um, because there are some things that people just don't need to know, especially about drinking Bailey's from a shoe, unless you watch the Mighty Boosh um, and old Greg, which I'm pretty sure we discussed Monday at long a long tangent about old Greg, because old Greg is a very interesting character, especially since he likes to ask people if they want to go to a club where people wee on each other. Um, and I'm just like, oh God, that's funny. Anywho, what do you think of me? I don't rightly know, sir. Make an assessment. Mm. All right. Anywho, I was asked a question, so I was answering that question. I apologize for the pause. Um. So yeah, I don't sound like an old person. How's everybody doing tonight? And let's just repeat questions until people answer more. Um, listen, I miss the people I used to take care of. I really do. It, but answering the same question 15 times a day to 30 different people gets a little tiresome every once in a while. So I like to mix things up. It's a good thing I wasn't allowed the sticker "Hello, my name is" labels because I will have changed the name every 5 minutes and walked into a room with a new name. Exactly, Bear. Um, didn't you say your name was? No, no, this is my name right here. And then 5 minutes later, just walk in with a new name. Um, it's like going to the mental and singing, "Do you hear what I hear?" Um, Sorry, I'm replying to someone. Nothing like getting messages while you're live. Anywho, so where were we? I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yes, all Greg at the Mighty Boosh. Um, actually, let's change that subject. What are some movies that everybody's looking forward to watching this year? I know one just came out Christmas time that I want to watch. I haven't got to watch it yet, and that's Nosferatu. I've heard nothing but good things about it. So, and honestly, the original was a favorite as far as older horror movies go. I've got quite a few of them already, as far as older horror movies like the Wolfman stuff. And there's quite a few on Peacock too, if anybody's interested in watching the Universal Monsters. Um, I'm not sure about most of the remakes, but apparently this one has been pretty solid with the direction and everything the way it goes. Um, hopefully, I'll get the chance to see it more soon so I can give a better review of it and tell more without ruining it. Ruining, ruining it. Yeah. I need more caffeine. Is there more caffeine? Yes, there is. I've got to reach it. Pardon me for a second. Eh, eh, eh. Just kidding. I want to scoot back here. Here we go. All right. You get to see my lovely wall and my moon hanging out. Only I would take and put something with a full moon on my wall. Because why not? Let's make it glow. No way, it's a full moon all the time in my room. Cheers. Um, as far as investigating goes, I hope I get to get. Yeah, that was a switch, wasn't it? This year, as far as investigating goes, I hope I get to make it out more soon. I know there's some actually fairly spooky movies coming out this year. I plan on trying to watch in one shape or another. It'll probably be after they come out on one of the streaming apps. because I also, yeah, that's anyway. Why are you all still watching? I really want to know. I have no clue. I'm just on here rambling, um, and going from one subject to another subject. Welcome to How My Brain Works. There's your mental health for the night. Welcome to Raymond's Brain 101. We are going to switch through 15 subjects in 5 seconds. One, two, three, go. Just kidding. I'm not doing that. But paranormal investigations, I hope to get out and do a few more this year. Like I said, there's some places I hope to get back to, some new places I hope I get to visit. I know I've had a few offers to visit some places and stuff, so hopefully that comes to fruition at some point. Right now, is between work schedules and this and that and stuff in school, it's hard to make too many plans until I know how everything's going to work out. Um, I know if I get the chance to take and go where I want to for summer vacation, there will be equipment in my car because, I don't roll anywhere without equipment anymore, even to a gas station, even to the bathroom. Let's use Spirit Box while I'm sitting on the toilet. Why not? Might as well have a conversation with somebody. It's like, since I'm sitting here taking a shit, who wants to talk to me? Um, I would take my cards in there with me and do card readings while I'm sitting on the toilet, but I don't want to get them mixed up with the toilet paper, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, it's like, well, there goes that deck. It's just shit now. Which I mentioned earlier in the show about the footage I was going through for somebody and stuff. One of my favorite clips came through clear as day through the spirit box, and for no reason, nobody was talking at the time and stuff. All you hear is, "That's dumb." What's dumb, bud? I want to know what you consider dumb. Um, but yeah, clear as day. That's dumb. I also call out a cool moment. And I couldn't tell if it did not sound like the person who was with me's voice, because they spoke right after, and I hear somebody talk about something about being in their room without any actual context. So, and that was actually through the microphone. That was before the spirit box was ever turned on. So some cool moments, cool moments. I enjoy it. That's why I do this. That way I can have catch those kinds of moments, those kinds of conversations. Because if I can take and share somebody's story out that can't tell it themselves anymore, then I've accomplished something. And does it bring further evidence of the existence of the paranormal or further scientific findings? Probably not. But at least I can say at the end of the day that I accomplished something with it. Hey, look, a blanket. Anyway, um, shiny. No, I swear to God, somebody is screwing a squirrel on will look. Don't do it. Anywho, all right. I have been on here for an hour and 5 minutes. I don't know who's messaging now. Okay. Yeah, that's not my conversation. But I hope you all have an awesome weekend. And as long as I have power Monday evening and stuff, we will be back for Death Scenes and Cemeteries. Renee and myself will. I can't remember what topic we decided on. I don't know if we actually decided on a topic. Uh, I'll have to message her. She usually takes notes. I forget everything, and I never write anything down because I usually remember, but I I don't remember this time. Anywho, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a great night. And thanks for tuning in to Mental Health by the Mentally Disturbed. Good night.